All right, back to the mailbag. What are the best landing spots for Evan Mobley and Alperen Sengun? As I mentioned earlier, I'd like to see Evan Mobley in Washington, but I think Toronto would be a good fit, and I think Oklahoma City would also be a good fit. I would love to see him with the Wizards, though. Those my two favorites would be the Wizards and Toronto. I mean, I think Washington is doing well with Daniel Gafford at the 5, but I think with Mobley, he would give them like a rim protector. He'd give them a vertical lob threat, and I'm buying into his upside as a shooter. I think he's a better shooter than the numbers indicated. And I think Mobley in a role in Washington where he's like their third option, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think that could be very big for Washington and their, because they're in like this weird stage where they have two guys that are veterans as their two best players. They're not necessarily a young team, but I think Evan Mobley would be a good fit there. And then Toronto, I've been on record of saying I'm a big fan of their developmental program, and I think Toronto would definitely be able to maximize everything that Mobley has. OKC, just because, I mean, it would be fun to watch a Mobley and Pokusevski front court, so I liked him there. As far as Sengun, Oklahoma City is my favorite spot. They have so many picks in the future that they can swing for the fences. Again, I think Sengun, Pokusevski front court would be pretty interesting. And I guess that would make like the Thunder as like an international team in a sense. You figure Maledon, Dort, Pokusevski, Sengun, Alexander, like none of those guys are Americans. So that would be pretty interesting to have those guys all on the same team in the middle of the Bible Belt in America. So that would be pretty funny. All right, the next question is Kuminga versus Garuba. Are you with Kuminga first? And is it by far or close? I think Kuminga has the higher upside, and I think Garuba has the higher floor. I definitely see Kuminga being selected higher. I think he's a top 5 pick. At worst, he may be like number 6. He's really young, but it's interesting because even though they're similar in age, there's like a huge gap as far as experience. I mean, Garuba has played plenty of games on the junior levels. He's won championships. I want to say he won the under-18 championship. Now he's playing for Real Madrid. He's a contributor in the EuroLeague, while Kuminga just has like a small body of work as far as like outside of high school. I mean, he played, a month in the bubble, and then I feel like a lot of scouts didn't really get a chance to see him because he didn't get a chance to play on like a lot of the events that NBA scouts were allowed to go to. So I feel like their first time really evaluating him was in the G League bubble, which, I mean, there's really not a better platform to evaluate a young lottery pick than the G League bubble, but I feel like they have more body of work for Garuba, so their experiences are totally different. But I think Kuminga's going to go higher, and I think he has more upside to be like a superstar or an all-star, while I think Garuba is going to have like a really, really long career as a, maybe borderline all-star, but a high-impact player that just contributes to winning. So I as of right now, I would say Kuminga's the higher player, and it's not by much. All right, also, do you think Jay Huff should be a second-round pick? And if so, how high? I think so. If Luke Kornet is in the NBA, then I think Jay Huff can play in the NBA. I think Huff is probably a better shooter than Kornet. Huff is interesting because even though he's, a 7-footer and he's a shooter, he has some mobility. Like I've seen a couple plays where he put the ball on the floor. He's pretty mobile, so I think he could possibly help a team as maybe like their third center. But as long as you can shoot the ball in today's NBA, I think you'll have some value. So, a lot of times it just depends on who you can defend. I think he's a good rim protector, and he may have the mobility to be a drop coverage big, but I think he gets drafted. If not, he'll be one of these guys that signs immediately right after the draft is over and gets a 2-way contract. But like I say, if Luke Kornet's in the NBA, then I think Huff has a chance. If Taco Fall's in the NBA, I actually think that Huff is more skilled than Taco Fall, so I think he gets selected. And also, dude is like an analytic star. He was ranked in like the top 98 percentile in all of college basketball. Shot 58% from the floor, 38% from three. Those numbers should get him drafted. All right. What do you think about James Bouknight in Detroit? That's a funny question. I'll put it like this. If Detroit is in position to select James Bouknight, or is he the best player available, or if he's in their draft range, that means they fell significantly in the lottery. I think Detroit should have a top 5 pick. I don't think Bouknight is going to be in their range as a top 5 pick. So unless Detroit trades with somebody and they end up with 2 first-round picks or 2 lottery picks, then maybe Bouknight. But yeah, I can't see a situation where Detroit, based off their record and where they're projected to go in the lottery, are looking to select James Bouknight. But I think he would be a good fit, though. I just don't see a scenario where he would be an option for them unless they fall. All right. Who is the biggest sleeper prospect in the 2021 NBA draft? Here's one for you. Mason Gardner. Now, I saw that he declared for the NBA draft after 1 season of JV NAIA basketball. I'm rooting for him simply because, all right, one, I don't have any game film. So I'm hoping I get some game film. Mason, if you're listening, send me some game film. I'll send you a full scouting report. But I have this theory, I have this saying, and if someone steals it, I guess I need to like copyright it. When it works out, it's considered faith. When it fails, it's stupidity. So anyway, I just like the fact that this guy is believing in himself. And yeah, I want some game film. But as far as like underrated prospect, sleeper, I've been on record and I've said it multiple times. I think Vrins Blindberg is the biggest sleeper, but now I don't even know if I can call him a sleeper now because his name is starting to buzz and I'm starting to see his name pick up some traction on different NBA draft boards, and NBA draft Twitter likes him. But I mean, that would be my guy that I would say is the biggest sleeper. But I mean, people are awake now.